Hello everyone, welcome back to Networks Together. In the last video, we have created workflow template, device group and device binding. In this video, we'll use that template to onboard the SD-WAN Edge using script-based zero-touch provisioning. Now to run this script, first we have to access the device and we can do that via console port or using the management interface. So let's access the device first. Okay, so we can log into the device using default username password. Now the script is located at opt/versa/scripts folder. This is basically a Python script. The file name is staging.py. We can also check what all are the arguments we can provide using the help command. Okay, so these are all the arguments which you can use depending on our scenarios, different link type like PPPoE or DSL or DHCP based internet link. Now, at minimum, we should provide the WAN details, like which WAN interface is going to be used to onboard the SD-WAN Edge. So in our lab, we are right now onboarding this Edge 1 and it is connected to internet link on physically port number 1, which is equivalent to VNI 0/0. So we'll use port 0, so it is equivalent to your logical interface. Suppose if you are using port number VNI 0/1, in that case you have to use port number 1. Okay. Apart from this, you have to provide WAN details like what is the IP of your internet link. As in our workflow template, we have defined this interface as a static IP. So we have to define the IP as a static along with the gateway details. Suppose if you are using any internet link where you are getting the IP from DHCP, you can use --d option. Apart from this, we have to provide the controller details. So that is this one, controller information. And as you remember, in the device binding, we have defined the serial number manually. Okay, so you have to provide the serial number here also, and few other parameters which will be used to build the IPsec tunnel with the controller for the staging period. So you have to provide that, and we can get this information directly from the controller profile. See, if we go to configuration, device, and then the controller, here you have services, then IPsec, then VPN profiles. So in VPN profiles, you'll have different type of Profiles basically, the first two are for your staging, as a controller is reachable via both internet and MPLS transport. So we have two different profiles here for only for staging, only for onboarding. Once onboarding is done and the device is able to reach the director, then the device will uh, pull all the configuration based on the template you have defined, which is a post staging template. Okay, and that time the edge device will also form the control plane using with the controller. But that time this post staging profile will be used, post staging VPN profile will be used to build the IPsec tunnel. So for SD-WAN Edge 1, we are using internet, so we'll use this profile. As you can see, the controller should be reachable via internet, right? So we can check the controller details. Okay, so we go to CLI. So controller should be reachable via the internet links. We have to use this IP 192.168.100.100. This will be our controller IP, and this should be reachable via internet transfer VR, and the port number is VNI 0/2. So in the staging profile also you have the same information. This is interface 0/2 and the routing instance is internet transfer VR. If we go to IKEY, you will find the identity. It is used the email type. So we have to use the controller identity, which will be this one, and for the branch side we have to use this identity. So now let's prepare the script. So we have to run as an admin, so sudo slash then the file name staging dot py. Okay, then we have to provide the WAN interface, so hyphen w, and we are going to use port 0. Then we have to provide the serial number, which we have already defined on device binding here. Same serial number we have to use. Next we have to provide the controller IP. So this is the controller IP which will be reachable via internet. If you're using the MPLS transport, then you have to use the MPLS IP of the controller, as that will be reachable via the underlay. Then you have to provide the IP details of the local site. So we are going to configure static IP. So that's why we use -s, and then the IP will be 192.168.100.1, which we have already defined here also. If you remember, yeah, this one /24, and the gateway address using G 192.168.100.254. Now to build the IPsec for the staging period, we have to provide a local, as we are using the identity as email type, so we have to provide the identity, which is this one, SDWAN-branch at that organization name, and then the remote site will use -r and the email ID of the remote site. So this is the script. It is now ready. We can go to the device. Let me just start again. If you go to CLI, you can see that currently nothing is configured. I have just configured this IP to access the device. Apart from that, there is nothing is configured. VNI 0/0, which is right now connected to the internet. It is showing down. So you have to, let's see, current directory is admin. So we'll go to the directory first, and then we'll run the script. We'll ask the password. If we go to director, it will create a template, create a appliance here. So the device is now able to reach the director. If we go to CLI, it will first assign a temporary IP, and then it will reload. It will reload the device, and once the device will be up, it will reload with the new configuration, the post staging template configuration. As you can see here, also it is complete now. So device will reload. It will take time to come up. Meanwhile, we can access the director. So if we go to director, if we do so device list, so you can see the branch one edge one device is now showing in the list. This is the IP which is assigned, and I believe this was the temporary IP. Yeah, that was a temporary IP. Once the device will once the device will be online, it will get one more IP, which will be the permanent one. So device is still, now the device is reachable from director. As you can see, the previous temporary IP was 172.16.0.129. After applying the post staging template, the IP is different now. It's 172.16.0.4, and you can also access the device from directory in the same IP like this. Okay, so the device is onboarded. We can also verify the same from our director. As you can see, this is our device is showing reachable, and the configuration is also synchronized. There are few basic things we can check from the CLI. You can check if the SLAs are up. So it will form an SLA with all the controller and all the other edges, as we are using the full mesh here. You can also check if it is forming the, it is also forming the BGP session. So we have successfully onboarded the SD-WAN Edge 1. Now in the next video we'll onboard one more device, maybe Edge 2, branch 2, and we'll use zero touch provisioning, but that will be based on URL. Hope you have liked this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon in the next video.